literally a week after you become champion and everything seems to be moving in this direction, Donald Trump announces that they're going to the White House, and like a day later, Jon Jones says, I'm back. And now all the talk is, I'm out of retirement, I'm getting tested. Did you chuckle at all this? Did you literally days after all this goes down, he says, okay, I'm back after all. What do you make of all this?
Oh, mate, it's just boring. It's just so boring. I don't even have a comment on it. It's boring as hell. Don't want to talk about it.
Like, you just probably rolled your eyes and moved on, right?
I've already got a fight, so I'm focusing on that. That's the way that I like micromanage things so well mentally, is that like for the next 10 weeks of my life, all I'm thinking about is like Cyril Gane and how to beat him. Like even what you said about his coach, what he said or didn't say, it doesn't matter, because I'm fighting Cyril, and that's all that matters really. No matter what anybody said or done or what's happened in the past is all pretty irrelevant at this point, because we're going to fight each other, and that's all that really matters.
And I promise this is the only other thing I'll ask about it, but now it's become Jon versus Tom would be the biggest fight ever at the White House, and even Dana has talked about it, that would be the wish list. Is that something that you even think about or use as like that could be a goal, or because of the past year you won't allow yourself to even get too worked up over that?
Do you want me to be honest?
Please.
It has spent 0 seconds in my mind.
Okay.
Tom, Aspinall didn't just call out Jon Jones, he set fire to the entire idea of them ever fighting. No polite challenge, no respectful maybe one day. He went all in, saying Jon Jones will never fight him, will never give him the chance, and that he doesn't even want his name mentioned in the same sentence. To him, the idea isn't just dead, it's boring. And when a fighter calls the most dominant heavyweight champion in UFC history boring, you know something big is brewing. The MMA community is stunned, wondering what could push a rising star to slam the door this hard.
I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, and this is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
I love that. I'd love it too. Has anybody fought at the White House before, like officially?
I don't think so.
I heard there was a boxing match many years ago at the White House.
Okay.
MMA will be the first.
All right, so what's the get back been like? Because if you retire and then come back, that's got to be crazy.
Yes, it's been difficult and different. Everything hurts,
Fans and analysts were already painting the picture in their heads. The ultimate heavyweight wore the young, hungry champion in waiting versus the living legend, but Aspinall didn't just quietly decline. He crushed the fantasy with brutal honesty. He says he's not even interested in stepping into the octagon if Jon Jones is the opponent, especially on the rumored White House card. Why? Because in his mind, Jon Jones would never take the fight in. Aspinall's words, chasing that matchup is a waste of time. It's like buying a ticket to a movie that's never going to be made.
Hey, so they've announced this White House UFC fight. What do you think about that?
I think it's exciting. Very exciting.
Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have very strong feeling that I'll be on that card.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's willing to go at the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any possible names you think?
Well, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. I feel like the only thing to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, I'm willing to put it all on the
Nice.
Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is. So would you be okay with him coming back, potentially winning that belt again?
You know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House.
This isn't a case of bad blood or hatred. Aspinall isn't throwing insults to get under Jones' skin. This is different. This is about time. He knows fighters only have a small window to make history, and he refuses to waste those prime years waiting for a fight that will forever be in the works, but never in the cage. He's watched other fighters grow old chasing a payday that never came. He won't be one of them. In his mind, that page has been turned, and there's no flipping back.
That's it. I'm not interested, mate. Not interested, and the world shouldn't be interested either. Because what's the point? It's false hope.
What about just you at the White House? Forget about him. Does that interest you?
Not particularly. It doesn't not interest me, but it doesn't really interest me, to be honest. I'm not really fussed. Where I fight, I'll fight anyway. It doesn't really bother me. It'd be a cool experience, but I'm not like. I feel like the Americans should get the shot at the White House.
Sure. I'm
not American. Trump and the political stance in America doesn't really bother me at all, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm not really like a big Trump supporter, or I'm not against Trump. Like, I don't know anything about American politics. I'm not American. I don't live there. I don't reside there. I don't do anything there apart from pay taxes and fight there. So, really, all of that stuff just is irrelevant to me, to be honest with you.
In other words, you prefer Wembley, Tottenham Hotspur, Old Trafford. Eddie
Mate, if we could take Old Trafford. You're talking to a bloody City fan.
Oh, sorry. So I mean, you're kind of just sort of like a casual fan, if we're being honest. No,
in the Etihad Stadium. No.
Okay,
come on, bro. I'm going to a game next week, actually.
Oh wow,
a game next week.
Your son got you into it, right?
Yeah, and I follow, big fan, I'm following.
With Jon Jones off the table, Aspinall's full attention is locked on Cyril Gane. The two are set to meet this October in Abu Dhabi for the interim heavyweight title. And already the pre-fight heat is building. Gane's coach recently fired the opening shot, claiming Aspinall lied about Gane ducking him in the past. According to their side, that never happened, but Aspinall isn't losing sleep over it. His answer is simple: it's irrelevant, the talking me. Interviews the media spin, none of it matters when the cage door closes.
Jon Jones, you don't know where you stand. Dana said it's the biggest fight in UFC history now, so...
Yeah, I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm ready to fight whenever they tell me, so just let me know. I'll be there.
Everyone thinks you're a bit of like a quintessential good guy. Could we see a heel turn at some point in the MMA world?
We might do. Who knows? Who knows?
The accusations might seem like simple trash talk, but they add a layer of psychological warfare to this matchup. Gane's team wants to paint Aspinall as a storyteller, a fighter who makes up drama to sell fights, but Aspinall's calm response sends its own message. He's not rattled. He's not giving them the reaction they want. He's saving all his energy for the only moment that counts, when the bell rings in Abu Dhabi.
One good thing to come out of this for Tom Aspinall, other than the heavyweight title, is kind of his aura now. When the greatest of all time won't even step in a cage with you, it builds up who you are, right? You have that fear factor. The guy who everyone was scared of is scared of him. How fucking good is Tom Aspinall? Very good is the answer. And it's funny because in all of the posturing that Jon did, in the tweeting and the interviews, and I don't care, I don't want to fight him, he doesn't do anything for all of that coping that we witnessed, where he was trying to say everything he could to make himself feel better about not wanting to fight this guy, and telling us all how unbothered he was in fighting Tom Aspinall, showed exactly how bothered he was. Because Jon Jones, like, you know, even though he thinks he's smart, he's a child, right? And he doesn't realise in all of that coping, we can read him like a fucking book. And all he's done is kind of promoted Tom Aspinall for an entire year.
The silent assassin of the heavyweight division.
Okay, well then why didn't he fight him? If Jon's not scared, and we believe that, and it wasn't about money, then how do we interpret the refusal of...
This fight is a clash of two completely different martial arts philosophies. Gane is a master technician, light on his feet for a heavyweight, gliding in and out of range, picking opponents apart with sniper-like precision. He's dismantled some of the division's best with his patience and composure. Across from him stands Tom Aspinall, an all-action, high-pressure finisher with lightning-fast hands, fluid grappling, and a ground-and-pound game that can end fights in seconds. One man wants to control the fight. From a distance, the other wants to drag you into a storm you can't survive.
His head coach, Fernand Lopez, on the program, and it was all going kind of well. And then it started to get a little spicy on his part, where he said that your talk has been annoying, that you've been whining, that it's not true, that you guys weren't in talks to fight, 3-4 times in the past. Did you see any of these comments, and did you have any sort of response to them?
Well, somebody told me about them. I didn't see them. I'm trying to. I try and stay off social media when I've got a fight coming up. So yeah. I'm not like reading through all the time. My response to them is, with all due respect, I respect coaches so much, especially especially really high level coaches. But with all due respect, like, his opinion is quite irrelevant to the situation. Like, I'm just telling the facts from what I know and my point of view. I'm not trying to get under anyone's skin or anything like that. Like, that's the reality that I lived. But irrelevant to what happened or didn't happen, like, that's in the past, and we're fighting each other now. We're fighting each other in October, so irrelevant to what anybody says, who's annoyed and who isn't annoyed, and whose feelings are hurt and whose feelings aren't hurt. We're going to fight each other and settle it regardless, so it's pretty irrelevant with all due respect.
One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I don't know if he was trying to play mind games, but he said there's never been more pressure on anyone than the pressure that will be on you come October 25th, because of all the talk over the past year of you being the real champ and Jon Jones ducking and all that. You have to sort of validate all of this with a dominant win. What do you make of that statement?
That's great, because I fight really, really, really well under pressure. You know, there's a couple of types of guys. I've been around martial arts for my whole life, near enough at this point. And, there's the guys who I've trained with, from my experience, who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters. And they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up, and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself who are not that good in the gym, but get under the lights, get under the pressure with all the chips on the table, and they get in there and do things that they would never be able to do in the gym. And that is exactly what I do, and I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths. So anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. And if he believes that, that's a fantastic thing for me.
So in other words, if he's trying to put that pressure, it's not going to work on you. These mind games aren't going to work.
Oh, talk's just talk to me, mate. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So
if Gane can keep the fight standing, if he can stay on his toes and avoid the takedown, we could see a tense strategic battle that goes deep into the later rounds. But if Aspinall closes the gap, if he gets his hands on Gane and takes the fight to the mat, the night could be over before Gane even finds his timing. It's a razor-thin balance. One wrong step, one miscalculated movement. An entire fight could swing in seconds.
Ciryl Gane is a fantastic striker. I mean, he's one of the most beautiful strikers in the heavyweight division. He does wild stuff. You ever see how he throws that front kick from a side stance? And he throws it like a twisting kick. He stands like southpaw, right? And he bobs around like this, and he's totally sideways, and he twists his foot out like a twisting kick. He did a lot of them against Tai Tuivasa. He's so fast, man. He just does this weird thing where he stands sideways, and instead of the front kick going like this, like straight out, the front kick goes like this. So
I know. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So his knee when he lands is almost like sideways. It's just so unusual for a heavyweight, that kind of movement. But he'll show it totally sideways.
It's a little trick.
Almost like a crescent kick or something like that.
Ciryl Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170 pounder. It's crazy. He's bouncing like Wonder Boy, like bouncing like this the entire fight, bouncing, throwing feints, like completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking. And I'm not exaggerating.
And hair race, where it gets interesting if Aspinall dominates Gane in Abu Dhabi. If he makes it look easy, the demand for Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall will skyrocket. Fans will scream for it. Media headlines will explode. Dana White will be asked about it at every press conference. But based on everything Aspinall has said, it won't matter. He's not chasing Jones. He's not begging for his approval. He's not trying to be a footnote in Jones' story. This is about building his legacy, not adding to someone else's.
Because it seems so far-fetched for people that Gane could even win this, considering he's pretty much a meme at this point, whereas Aspinall, to people, myself included, might just be the baddest man to ever live in all of human existence. And I'm pretty sure this is a fact, so I'll say it as if it is, but I don't think there's a single UFC fighter to fail 2 title shots and then win their 3rd attempt. Ever. Especially one of, if not maybe the most undeserving of a 3rd undisputed title shot attempt. I mean, it's either him or Covington. This making it his 3rd title shot within his last 6 fights. F*** you, Gane, and f*** you, Saint Denis. Not just that, but also ducked Aspinall multiple times for years prior. Oh, it doesn't make sense to fight Aspinall, but now it does when there's a title, and I'm like, f you. I mean, maybe I've been judging him a bit too harshly. No wonder Justin Gaethje thinks he's entitled to a third title shot when he's watching this fraud get given to him like the UFC are offering him Tic Tacs or snails. And even since his last title attempt where he was the reason Jon Jones became heavyweight champion in the first place. He had beaten Sergey Spivak, robbed Volkov, where Dana White even said he robbed Volkov and said he'd do Volkov good, whilst making Volkov have a title elimination bout on the same card where they've gifted Gunn another title shot. I'm starting to think the only merit I can find in this run for him to earn a title shot isn't even any fights, but maybe the random movie he filmed that scored a 5.8 on IMDb and actually scored lower than Roadhouse.
In Aspinall's mind, Jon Jones is yesterday's headline. Yes, he's a legend. Yes, his resume is unmatched, but Aspinall isn't here to be the guy who waited around for a chance to fight him. He's here to carve his own path, and that path leads straight through Abu Dhabi.
Posted a video on his YouTube channel featuring Pimlet, and he had his own theory as to why Chandler's struggling. It's a bad fight IQ. It's weird because he's obviously a really fit guy, but if you do a sprint for 5 minutes, no one's going to be fit, are they? He just goes out there, he throws from here, swinging. Everything he does is picking up full blast. It's mad for someone who has that many fights. I'm just surprised. There you go. I was watching him thinking there's no way Paddy loses to this guy. I know a lot of people were saying online he's a tough fight for Paddy. I thought easy fight for Paddy. And it was pretty easy. So what did Chandler say? Didn't that big goober say this like 3 years ago? And then waited as long for Jon as I did for Conor? No, nowhere near. It was about a year. You waited for 3 years. Your bloodline ends with you, dude. No one gives a fuck about you. You'll be forgotten to the annals of history. Thousands of years down the drain.
Tom Aspinall is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. What's the first step for him?
You give him the one contender, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if Jon Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
I think you're absolutely right. Fight that makes sense. Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. Let's make that happen. Cyril Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the pride of Wigan, the one and only Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. Na. Tommy Aspinall, Tommy, defending his undisputed gold, technically for the very first time against the pride of France, the French prince himself, Bon Gamin himself, the one and only Cyril Gane. These two have been going back and forth for the better part of 2, maybe 3 years. Well, this was the fight that we all thought was going to happen in Tom's official first title defense, and so it is in fact going to happen. Tom wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That was the sense that we got when he became undisputed champion. He didn't want to wait for New York. Let's be honest, the tax is a little better over there in Abu Dhabi compared to New York for an Englishman, for anyone, if we're being 100% honest. And so he wanted to be active. He wanted to fight in October. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. It's closer to home, and so they obliged. And you'll recall a few weeks ago I said it's looking like Magomed and Alex October 4th. It's looking like Tom versus Cyril October 25th, and it's looking like JDM versus Islam in New York. That would be the next pay-per-view. Now, that hasn't been officially announced. That hasn't been signed, sealed, and delivered. But at this point, I would be surprised, considering how the chips just fell earlier today. I would be surprised if it doesn't play out that.
Cyril Gane is the present, the polished, proven contender who has already fought for UFC gold. Tom Aspinall is the future, the hungry, relentless force looking to take over the division. This fight isn't just for a belt, it's for the soul of the heavyweight division. And when the cage door closes in Abu Dhabi, one man's era will begin while the other's momentum could be stopped dead.
Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings,
As I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blade, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Cyril Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, Jon Jones beat Cyril Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Cyril Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Cyril Gane as well. The man's gigantic, he's very quick, he's agile, he's light on his feet, he could run any sport on the planet, and he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against Jon Jones, and that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall. You never know, he could clip him. This is a dangerous fight, this is heavyweight MMA, but Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Cyril Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting Jon Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter.
What are your thoughts on Cyril Gane being potentially the toughest opponent yet for you? A lot of people say somebody you've not really sort of faced that type of fighter in the heavyweight division.
I think both me and Cyril are we both have niche style for heavyweights. We don't fight like heavyweights, both of us. So this could be the fastest, the best moving heavyweight fight that anybody's ever seen. We're both great movers. We're both light on our feet. We're both elusive. So this is going to be great. And by the way, all this stuff that I've just said previously, we actually made a video this time last year, a little bit longer, when we found out that Manchester was going to come and there was going to be an event in Manchester. When I thought I was fighting Cyril Gane, but he declined it, we made a video there over a year ago now. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe it on the timeline, look, got my teeth done now. Look at the old video. You want to zoom in on them?
Hold on.
Got my teeth done.
Let me get right in there.
I got the teeth done now. When I did this video, this was over a year ago. Didn't have my teeth done then, so get over there.
For Tom Aspinall, October is about more than winning a fight. It's about sending a message to the UFC, to the fans, and to every fighter at heavyweight. He's not chasing shadows. He's not stuck in the past. And he's not waiting for opportunities to come to him. He's creating them. And if he walks out of Abu Dhabi with his hand raised, the future of the division may have just found its new king.